Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right, just watched The Last Jedi, written and directed by Rian Johnson. And I have to say, I think like Rian Johnson had like a major point to make with this movie. He really did. I think there's like an overall theme that he's going with. And I think the point was to destroy Star Wars. I think that was his honest like point to do was to actually destroy the franchise, destroy the lore of it, like destroy all of it. It looks like that. Am I tripping? Anyone else? Am I tripping? I think he was like trying to fuck this thing up, like in a weird way.
I think he succeeded.
It's like the Nirvana fan who's like, oh, fuck, look at this corny Star Wars, man. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make a movie about it and just destroy it. I'm gonna infiltrate and destroy it from within. And like you said, I think he succeeded. Well, and I mean, it's not on him alone. There's so many other creators that are involved in Star Wars that also fuck it up. So I can't give him all the blame. But if his purpose was to destroy the idea of Star Wars and keep it somewhat in a positive light, he succeeded. Now, on the other hand, for you little fucking Star Wars fans, George Lucas plays a major role in destroying Star Wars itself, too. He plays a major role in that. Like, he does, man. Like, sorry. His prequels that people hated when it came out, and then all of a sudden people have an appreciation for it. Like, well, guess what? Him leaving things open-ended or adding stupid storylines contribute to this thing. The style of it all contributes to what we're watching now with The Last Jedi and obviously Rise of Skywalker, which we didn't watch, right now. We're not reviewing that right now. Maybe we do in the future. But yeah, I think George Lucas leaving room on what this thing is supposed to be about is what contributes to why it's shit on, to be honest with you. In my opinion.
Yeah, big exhale. Where do I start? Terrible cuts, terrible stories, terrible characters. It's all bad, except for the score.
But like those are already like that was already cool in Star Wars was the music, 100%.
Yeah,
But
some
now,
of the CGI is pretty good.
fair enough.
It's not saying.
I actually wrote this down, Anthony.
Yeah,
We said it in the middle of the movie. It's like people who were absolutely disappointed by season 8 of Game of Thrones, right? Made by D&D, right? Was it Benioff and what's the other guy's name? Like David Benioff and Dan something.
Weiss.
DB Weiss, right? DB Weiss. Star Wars fans, like if those guys left Game of Thrones to do Star Wars, they would take them over Rian Johnson because there's like, how far low could you actually go? Like with hindsight, like how far could you actually go? Like this movie hit the bottom of the fucking barrel. Like how low could you actually get? So it's like we'll take a risk and take D&D to make our fucking Star Wars movies. Like at this point, it's like oh god. And that's not to call them the worst writers in the world. It's just this looked like it was on purposely bad. It looks like that, like just from watching this again. But all right, let me say some positives. And you mentioned it. There are certain things that looked pretty good. Maybe cool scenery or cool maybe camera angles for the red room scene was pretty cool looking as far as aesthetically.
Snoke's lair is very cool.
Yes, and the fucking soldiers in the background like lined up. Even though when they started fighting, it looked trash. But before that, when they're just standing around, like kind of guarding the room, and Snoke's on his fucking throne, like, yo, you little bitches, get over here. It looks kind of cool. Even Snoke himself looked alright. Like it's a full CGI thing, but he looked alright. Uh, and then obviously the music, right? The score. I'll always give Star Wars a thumbs up when it comes to their music. It's just for me, based on the storytelling, they don't match each other too well. But even though it sounds good, I guess I'll go with that. That's fine. What's
Oh
up?
my god.
Hello. What's up,
Hello?
Here, Josh.
No, not me.
Anthony?
No, I was just saying. No, I said it sounds good. Yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Okay,
In theory, it sounds good, but it's trash.
okay. Now I guess you can read it as not a complete sabotage of the first of episode 7 in particular, right? Not the forget about the earlier movies. Episode 7, right? The Force Awakens.
Well, well, you have to also mention that because J.J. Abrams basically like copied. What was it? The first one. The first one that Lucas made.
Yeah. Uh,
I forgot what it was called.
A New Hope. Is that the name
Yeah,
of
I don't fucking know, dude.
it?
But
Yeah.
he copied the first one they made. He had the same screenwriter, Kasdan, Lawrence Kasdan or whatever, and he basically told him make that movie again, and that's what he did. Replace Luke with a woman, and then add uh recurring people from the prior movies: Chewie, Han Solo, Leia,
Yeah.
BB-8, what is it, the other guy, the other robot, and so
R2D2, whatever.
yeah, whatever. So everybody was based. All the Star Wars fucking groupies were like, so Ryan Johnson's gonna make Empire Strikes Back. I think that's the second one, right? Or am I tripping?
I think that's the third one. The second one's Return of the Jedi, maybe? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I'm not a big Star Wars fan, so Star Wars fans eat my dick. Like,
I
I'm
think
gonna be upset about it, but whatever.
Return of the Jedi is the second one. I could be wrong, but anyways. So everybody's like, yo, Ryan Johnson he's gonna make the second. He's gonna make it like the second one. And then Ryan Johnson proceeds to troll everybody and subvert their expectations by like doing everything in reverse and also adding like a casino plot and like the terrible fucking idea putting Luke in an island, having him drink like alien fucking cum or something milk.
The four nippled fucking alien thing. He drinks that milk and like nods at the camera. It's like, what? Who put that in here? Why would you do that? Oh god.
He fucked up in a lot of procedural things like the movie starts off and it's already guns blazing. The fucking First Order finds where these guys are hiding and all that. You don't really understand like how the fuck the First Order has all these unlimited resources to find people and shit. And it just destroys from the get go. It destroys the pacing. Like you said, you mentioned at the beginning of the movie, wasn't the last scene of the movie Ray finding Luke Skywalker and like handing him his lightsaber?
Yeah, she's like holding it out to him, and
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, a reveal. Look, it's Luke.
Which is like it's not a terrible way to end the movie and lead up to the next one.
Yeah, no, it's not.
And so then this one starts and it's totally like a fucking space opera
Well, that's
situation.
Star Wars in general. To be honest with you, but
Well, you know what I mean, like even more so, and even more like convoluted, not well thought out.
well, let me say this: if Ryan Johnson, if his attempt was to right? I kind of said like, oh, he's trying to destroy it. I still kind of believe that, but at the same time, if he wasn't, and he's actually thinking he's trying to fix things, he definitely made that noticeable, right? There's
Yes.
plenty of critiques of the Force Awakens. There's plenty of critiques about that movie that play out in this movie, where he's like addressing them through the movie, through
Right.
dialogue, through
Yeah.
where okay, the mask, right? Everyone was like,
Yeah.
oh, Kylo Ren when he takes the mask off, he looks stupid and
Kylo,
corny, right?
Kylo Ren, Kylo Ren and Finn. Yeah.
Yeah, he takes the mask off. He looks fucking corny. And in this movie, Snoke is like, "Take your stupid fucking mask off," and he takes his fucking mask off. Like he's like mocking him for having the mask on when it's like clearly this is what you're like outside, like without the aura of Dark Vader. That was also another mention that was criticized in the Force Awakens. That Brian Johnson is kind of addressing here, where it's like oh, Kylo Ren. This is what fans were saying. Kylo Ren's a fucking knockoff of Darth Vader, and then they addressed that in this movie as well, right? It's like you're no Darth Vader, right? They're kind of like playing at what fans were saying as critiques.
He's clearly trying to troll the fans. Also, he made a film that's like I believe it's the longest Star Wars film ever made out of all of the films,
Okay.
and yet you feel like the storylines are super rushed. They're not really thought out. They're not really explored to the degree you would want. And he puts in a fucking casino adventure with, right with a Finn and the girl that
Yeah.
leads you no. It literally leads you to a dead. It's worse than a dead end. It's almost like you never left where you were going. You
It,
just saw these
yeah.
last adventure.
I mean,
And there's another one. What's the other one? The whole slow pursuit of the First Order shooting the resistance.
yeah. Like, are you guys just sitting in space, right? You guys are in cruise control, just sitting in space, like kind of not
So
doing much until the camera hits you. Then you're like, oh wait, we got to do something. Now let's shoot at each other, or let's shoot at this ship. Then, like, go ahead.
literally, there was literally no character growth from Ray and Luke within the island.
Oh my
That
god.
was totally fucking pointless. The way Luke is motivated to help her is ridiculous. It's not even like it's not even worth mentioning.
Yeah.
What went down there? This I kinda didn't have a problem with the communication between her and what's his name, Kylo Ren. Like when she was in the island and
I
like they
did,
can send.
but go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. No,
I, for me, it seemed like a canned romance thing they were trying to do there, or like, or
well,
I guess making them the two special ones. When it's like you
yeah,
haven't built up Kylo Ren to where I care about him as special, and clearly
yeah,
you haven't built up Rey enough to where she's special, other than like she could just do things, right?
you're right. Yes, that's another point. That goes right into what I'm saying too. Of movie is a long movie, yet you don't really get to understand any character. There's no real development of anybody. You waste a lot of time on characters that go nowhere. Literally nowhere. They go nowhere. You're just
Well,
making spit. I don't know.
whatever was built in the first movie, it gets
He-
kind of thrown away in this movie, which is the crazy part about it. Maybe I'm wrong about Ryan Johnson trying to destroy Star Wars. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And here's some evidence for that, which would be Finn, and the casino scene that you're bringing up, right? To where people maybe criticize the character Finn in Force Awakens. They're like, "Yo, how's he have a lightsaber? How's he doing this? How's he doing that? Why is he important?" On and so forth, right? To where like Ryan Johnson's like, "Well, okay, we'll make him a side character that means nothing. We'll have him go on some sort of casino adventure with some other girl, even though they built up a romance between him and Ray in the first movie." They'll throw that away, throw it in the fucking garbage, have them go on a weird ass fucking little adventure to erase the criticism that was brought up. Like it's like robots writing this movie. It's
And in
literally like
hindsight,
ChatGPT fucking wrote the script as like a
yeah,
counter to whatever people are
and
saying.
when you know what happens in the next film, it's like, oh god, it looks even worse. Like,
I gotta go with Jody's corner, man. They're like, fucking J.J. Abrams like, nah, we're going back to what I started in the first one.
yeah,
We're gonna reverse what you just started here in this second movie. And Ryan Johnson is reversing what J.J. Abrams did in the first fucking movie. It's like
and
literally
yeah,
on par with that.
and it's almost like, why the fuck didn't you just do the whole trilogy? I don't get it. Like, why the fuck did you?
Because they
That
got
would have been
criticized. They got shit on. That's why they got shit on. They looked for fresh eyes, aka Ryan Johnson. And Ryan Johnson's like, I'll just try to do the opposite of what these guys did, or try to unravel what these guys built up.
but I also want to add the caveat. He did try to like go in a different direction, but he's also not a great like he. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea for him to also write the film?
Well, I'm pretty sure. Just if I had to guess, there's like 5 writers. I'm pretty sure there's like 5 fucking writers for The Last Jedi. Like, yes, Ryan Johnson will be the number one name there, but I'm pretty sure there's like 5 of them, bro. There's gotta be.
I actually know you're right, but I feel like because I watched another video where it seems like he had creative control. Though. Like, yeah, you're writing for him, but if he didn't want this or he wanted to add this, it was his call as
Yeah,
far as the screen. No, but 100%, I totally agree. He wasn't the only one, right? I should take that back.
an ensemble, 100%. It's an ensemble of people making this fucking mess, making this a mess of a movie. Oh man, there was some CGI that was good. There's some that was bad. Like it's once again, I don't focus on fucking looks for a movie to decide whether I like it or not. I like story, and this movie's
So,
story was, good God, what are we doing here? Like,
so
what's
let me
going
ask
on
you,
here? God,
what do you feel about so Kylo Ren kills Snoke, right? He saves her life, right?
yeah,
And then immediately he pivots to let's forget about the past, put the past behind us, and we'll rule together. What did you think of that?
I
Like
thought it was a
the
shoehorned romance of some shit that no one wanted to see, and they shoehorned it into like they're trying to make that thing make that thing happen. Like these guys they're like in this movie they call it the Force, but I guess outside of that, like they're spiritually connected as
but
characters.
and then but tell me, isn't it weird that you think it's a romance? I think it's a romance. Most people think it's a romance. But the way they manifest that, even in that, like, you could call that like the climax of that arc was when he saves her life, and then he extends his arm out,
Yeah,
and then she grabs the. It's like that shit felt weird. It's like he was trying to portray a romance, but you never really like explicitly saw them as that. It was always implied, but it wasn't like I don't know. It's like a weird way to.
there is a scene where it's kind of explicit, and it's when he's shirtless, right? And they fucking pause. They like oil his fucking chest up and shit for that scene.
Yeah.
For like, she's like, "Oh, we're alone together, and you're shirtless, and oh, what a man," type of thing is happening. Like in that moment, I'm like, "Good God, this is cringy. This is terrible and cringy," and you can tell they're going for that, which is what plays out in the third movie, right? That plays like J.J. Abrams takes this and tries to make it make sense, make everything that we just saw here make sense. That's what J.J. Abrams did. Ryan Johnson went into weird world with it, and I guess like like I think JJ built up Finn and Ray having some sort of romance thing, right? Remember when Finn's like, oh yeah, but whatever. Do you have a boyfriend? like he's like a aloof, right? He's a goofy guy who wants to be with the hero, and the hero finds it charming or endearing or cute or whatever. So the hero, the tougher hero who's there for righteousness, falls in love with the bimbo, which is Finn. Finn's the bimbo in this scenario. In this movie, they're like,
He's
fuck that shit. Fuck that. Here's some Asian chick. Then go on a casino fucking heist movie thing with her. Oh god, it. I can't emphasize enough. Like, fuck our review. Go watch Jody's Corner. Go watch Jody and Code review the movie. I think it's so on point and funny and hilarious too at the same time. Like, go watch that shit. Honestly, it's.
Okay.
I think it's on point.
Sorry, Josh. It's okay.
It's not canon, bro.
It's fucking canon. Sorry, Star Wars fans. It's canon. It's super duper canon. It has the title Episode 7, Episode 8, Episode 9. It's all canon now. Congratulations, guys.
I was like an inventive fan of this shit. That would break me, bro. Like, how did you let this happen? How did you make this an episode?
And let me wreck Star Wars fans even more. This is the elephant in the room. The big thing here. Pause. You guys shit on the fucking prequels. That was George's fucking work. George got an unlimited budget, unlimited, like, no one can tell him what to do. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Right? Is there a studio head walking into George Lucas's office and saying, like, you gotta make Star Wars this way? No. It's George's fucking project. It's his. And you guys shit all over those prequels. People did. When it came out, and years later, people shit on the fucking prequels. Well, guess what? That forces George's hand where he's like, I gotta let it go. Here you go, white slavers at Disney. Take this property and do whatever you want with it. And now we're here. Congratulations, guys. And that's not me saying that George's work was so good that, you know, you guys missed how good his work was and you forced him out. Like, I don't mean that. I mean, the work was mediocre. You recognize it was mediocre because it wasn't, you know, kids in the 70s watching, like, oh my God, look at this special effects for the first time. I've never seen anything like this before. That effect was gone. So you got stuck with the prequels where now it relies on story and narrative. And people didn't like it. People did not like that shit. So now, when you shit all over that, he has to give his property up because maybe he's not good enough anymore. He wasn't good enough to me, but now it's assured he's not good enough. And this is the results. Congratulations, Star Wars fans. You earned it. I'm sure I'll get in trouble for saying all this, but I'm just saying. Star Wars wasn't that great in the first place. That's just my personal opinion. Good?
So it's just not the Matrix, bro.
It's not. It's not. There's no core, like there's a core base, obviously, core fan base, but there's no like core storytelling elements that guaranteed have to be in every single fucking Star Wars. If you do anything Star Wars property, these themes have to be in there. Otherwise, it will be considered ass off rip.
That's his own fault. And then he tried. He tried with the prequels. It's like, yeah, this shit's trash, bro.
He tried to explain further what was happening in his 70s movies, and people were like, "This kind of sucks." Like, well, guess what? That means that shit sucked. I don't think it sucked. I think it's just mediocre. But I'm saying, like, the core themes and the fucking strings attached to the core movies are ruined because George tried to explain it. And it ruined the movies. It did. He tried to explain his own creation, and people were like, this kind of sucks. So when you see Rian Johnson or J.J. Abrams trying to use that same logic in these newer movies, guess what you're gonna get, man. It's not about the wokeness of the movie. That's not what makes the movie bad. It's not wokeness. It's not minorities in your movies. It's not that. It's the original sense of creation of the writing and all that shit is not there. I think it's incomplete. There's not a full explanation of all these things. The midichlorian counts. Yeah, get wrecked. They're gonna wreck you with that shit. Watch Disney wreck you with it. Here it is. Come on. All right, whatever. I'm done. Like, Star Wars deserves to be ranted on from the originals to the present day, but I'm pretty sure people only rant about the new ones.
All right, Jordan. Moment of truth. What's your grade?
Oh God.
I got a 4.5.
4.5. Jesus fucking Christ. It's not 2. 2 out of 10.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking great. You guys' scales are just way off to me.
Not canon, bro. I don't acknowledge it.
That's okay. Josh is being a Star Wars fan. I think Anthony's being more of a critic. And for me, once again, some of the looks look pretty fucking good. Some of the sounds, the music, that's pretty fucking good. Everything else looks dog shit, bro. Looks fucking terrible. And with that said, 6 out of 10, 5.9, 6 out of 10. It's not the bottom of the barrel. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, no. But some of these cuts in this movie, some of the acting in the movie, some of the scenes, some of the logic of why characters are doing this or that. Leia fucking frozen floating through space. It looks fucking stupid. Like, there's a lot of stupid shit in this movie. There is. And that just drags the score way down. And there's nothing redeeming from it. That's why it doesn't, like, allow, like, it goes underwater and stays there. It doesn't, like, rise up at any point. Where it's like, okay, you made maybe some stupid storytelling flub here that is, you do that for a sense of surprise later on, or a sense of, like, understanding what you were trying to say later on. That does not happen here. It just it just sinks and says, yeah, we're just gonna live here. We're fucking SpongeBob now, bro. We live under the fucking sea. This will not rise up at any point. Until Rise of Skywalker, then it'll rise up, apparently.
That's a pun.
Well, they did. They did it to themselves, man. What do you want from me?
Wait, that is a twin.
Hey, if you're a Star Wars fan, you should have been on George's ass. Pause. You should have been all over this motherfucker, telling him, like, yo, make this shit make sense. Help me help you, George. You should have already been, like, ranting at this fool. But instead, it just turned into fandom. And I get it. Cosplay is probably fun. You probably met your wife there, your husband there.
Chill.
Congratulations, guys. You know, you met your best friend at a George Lucas Star Wars convention. Good job. When it comes to storytelling, you guys, Star Wars never had it. they never hit that peak level. So guess what? If we can make cheap, easy, simple fucking movies and just roll them out, guess what? A giant corporation will do that. From Fox to Disney, they'll fucking do it. Because it's easy to do, it doesn't take time, and you just roll these motherfuckers out over and over and over again. Had to sneeze. Sorry. Yeah, they can. It's assembly line. Roll these movies out. Right, Ryan Johnson. Well, whatever. J.J. Abrams. Okay, cool. No problem. George is replaceable because he wasn't that great in the first place. Sorry, guys. All right, there's our review. What do we have? A 4.5, a 2, and a 5.9 to 6 out of 10. Tell us we're wrong. I dare you to.